going on, everybody? Casual Jack is here. Uh, we're going to be working on my build video for the assault class. It's a fun class. I like it. Figured I would. It can deal out some damage against Majoris type enemies. You can take out groups of Minoris type enemies, and it can even do quite a bit of damage to the extremist enemies. Along with the boss enemies that you can come across on anything of second tier difficulty or higher. It does do moderate damage to them. Nothing crazy. I will say this: you ain't gonna one shot them. But anyway, let's get to the setup by starting with the perk tree here. Going with damage of charged attacks increased by 15%. Because as you'll see in some of the gameplay video that I'll be showing toward the end, you do have a chance to do some charge attacks. You don't have to necessarily hold it until it's completely charged. For most of them, as soon as you start seeing a little lightning come up, let go. It'll still do its AOE damage and still do some pretty nasty damage to said enemies. Secondary weapons damage increases. The next one is the auxiliary arsenal. Secondary weapons damage increases by 15%. Pairs well because you're going to be using your pistol a lot. I don't just jump right into fighting all the enemies. I do a lot of range damage to some of them a lot of the times. So this helps take out the smaller enemies with ease. And will also help with the Majoris level and higher enemies. This one is a must. Knowledge of the enemy, increases your melee damage by 15% against Majoris or extremist level enemies. This is another one. It helps with your melee damage. Obviously, it's in the name. Because you're going to be, while you got your friends or your battle brothers with you, you're going to be pretty much focusing on the bigger enemies, to keep them off of them, while still going to town on everything else. So the extra 15% damage is really nice. This is one that will help you out a lot. And your teammates. All squad members deal 50% more gun strike damage. You will be going for every gun strike that you can get your hands on, as long as it ain't, hindering your team. They may be needing to get some armor back. Also, me, when I'm running with my friends, I tend to get a little bit on the greedy side. Sorry, busy in price. But you'll be in the fray 9 times out of 10. Over them, trying to get as much of the aggro as you can. So go for them. Go for the gun strikes. Ground pound. Here you go. This one helps out a lot. This will be when you use your jump pack. You jump up in the air and then you just ground it. Ground pound deals 100% more damage, but its radius is reduced by 50%. Sorry about that. Phone started ringing. But its radius is reduced by 50%. That's not a big issue. As again, you will be going straight for the Majoris or higher level enemies as much as you can. Most Majoris level enemies, or Majoris level enemies, I go straight for them, and it knocks them into the insta kill mechanic. I can't think of what the name of it is. Sorry. Then you can either get your gun strike or your insta kill. Then ground pound. Here's where this one is nice. Ground pound kill restores jump packs charged by 10%. I said earlier that you will be not going into the fray as much, and you will be going after the Majoris. But when you do time it just right, you can take out that Majoris and do as much damage and more than likely kill all the enemies in a small area. You will get back an instant charge. All it takes is 10 of them, and you got 100% of that jump charge back. That is it. A fully prepared ground pound deals 20% more damage, but preparation time increases by 25%. I do not see this one as that much of a big deal breaker, because the only enemy you really got to worry about is the snipers. They can knock you out of using your jetpack in the air. So once you figure out, and you probably already have, jump up in the air, charge that sucker up, because the only thing getting you is, like I said, snipers, and then all the other enemies are going to be, shooting at you. But with that being said, whatever enemy that you just hit, more than likely it's a Majoris. You're gonna knock it into its insta kill, where you can go up and you can execute. There, boom, you get your armor charge back, and then more than likely you got a couple more in there if your friends hadn't already took them out. And then this one, this is where I said that if you drop down, you also, oh no, this is something different, sorry. You'll also be doing damage to all the little ones that you did not kill with your jump pack when you dropped down that first time and you got your charge back. Use this, you can jump back up again, and all the other enemies in the area are dead. All the other little ones. It don't really do nothing to Majoris level enemies. It will stagger them back from you. So I'm in the air quite a bit. But anyway, now time to get to my sidearm and my hammer. So I went with the heavy bolt pistol. Uh, it does, looking at the firepower, you can't really tell. You think 2 damage, what's that going to do? It actually makes a big difference. Uh, and plus, it over penetrates on on the smaller enemies too. So not only are you ain't having to use 2 shots to kill 2 enemies. It's one to kill 2 enemies, maybe 3 sometimes if you get a headshot on them. I went with the one for the ammo, because 8 14's definitely better than 8 in the magazine, and having that extra ammo reserve of 140 over 80 is nice. The extra firepower would have been, one extra firepower would have been nice, but hey, it is what it is. Or the extra accuracy, but you really don't need them since you're going to be using your hammer. Let's get to the perk tree that I went with. Went with the bottom row. Damage increases by 10%. Terminus enemies. After killing a Majoris level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. Enemies at a distance of no more than 15 meters take 10% more damage. Recoil is reduced by 25%. This, if you've ever used a heavy bolt pistol, you will understand that this is extremely nice. After a gun strike, recoil is reduced by 35%. Go for them gun strikes if you can. If you cannot, it will be okay. Magazine size, 15%. The 15% don't seem like a lot, but when you got a magazine capacity of 19 over 14, headshots deal 10% more damage. Go for the headshots. Yep. And then another 15%, so that's an extra 30% of magazine capacity. When your health is below 30%, killing 10 enemies in rapid succession restores health by 5%. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Jumping into the fray with your jetpack, killing a bunch of them. You're killing 10 enemies fairly quickly. If you get your charge back, then you use your boost again. Well, you get to kill a lot of enemies. I keep getting, yeah. Anyway, actually, you know what? I don't think it has anything to do with the jetpack. You can kill 10 of the small enemies with this thing fairly quickly with the over penetration. But anyway, then damage is increased by 10% for the weapons perk. I did not go with chaos damage increased by 10%, and the weapon spread, it really ain't no big issue. Anyway, now to the hammer. With this one, I went with fencing. fencing with the hammer is a little different than fencing with the sword. Sorry. You know, if you play this game, I don't like using block. Block to me is kind of, to me, it's useless. I never found any good situation, and I found other situations where using fencing is a lot better. If you don't like the fencing weapons, I would definitely go for the balance. There is a balance between the two on this one, but the cleaving potential is not really an issue with the hammer, as it pretty much does a 360-degree swing almost, 180 both ways. So the fencing is the better of the two, or the three options. And again, with this one, I went with the whole bottom row. Melee damage by 5%. Aftershock preparation time is reduced by 30%. Melee damage increases by 5. Ground slam area of effect radius increases by 50%. After performing a ground slam, hold the attack button to perform an additional ground slam. Melee damage increases by 5%. Tyrannid enemies by 10. After killing 10 enemies in rapid succession with a light combo, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. Aftershock gains an additional spin. Melee damage against Minoris level enemies 20%. That way you can just go in, boom, boom, boom. And then you could have went with this one. It's not really an issue over this, or even this one. But this one's to a singular set of enemies, or this one is all Tyrannid. This one is Majoris level of whether it be Chaos or Tyrannid, your choice. But I went with Pommel Smash, deals 50% more damage. This is when you evade or you're running forward and then you just smack them with the head of the hammer. That would be your Pommel Smash. So I tend to be doing this one quite a bit when I'm running up on a singular enemy. I'm not going to waste my jump pack on him unless, you know, he's far off and I've got to get in because he's just throwing down, you know, sniper fire on us, or it's the little ceiling shooter Majoris enemies. Gotta hate those things. So, you know, that'd be the only time I wouldn't be using Pommel Smash. If you can get in, though, great. Just lay into them. It does not take long to kill the enemies with this. Okay, that is it for this segment of the video. I'm going to be showing y'all some gameplay footage of it, the way this is set up to the exact. I hope y'all enjoyed, though. If you have, do please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know, I don't care if the comments are good or bad. You know, you want to let me know something I could do different in the video, or, you know, whatever. Or what you liked about the video that you'd like to see me do more often. You know, please leave it in the comments. Both of them. Stuff that you don't like, stuff that you do like, would be great. It helps me out. But anyway, hope y'all have enjoyed. And stay tuned for the rest of the video. There is going to be a little bit of gameplay footage, not a whole lot. But I hope you enjoy. Oh shit, I'm dead. They lit my ass up. He got me.
Oh, what the? That was hard. Found out what? What about him? Jon Snow? Jon Snow is very much a dude. Where are you pulling that information from, sir?
Avenging angel, your disposal. Flesh is I am the righteous storm.
What, somebody has their name?
Another alien falls.
What the hell? Why is there shit buried? Shit.
Alright. It's on a good sign. This is not a good sign at all. I don't see any enemy wave of all things.
Yep.
Well, I'm running back here to this corner where they're going to be at.
We have arrived at Nozick's facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can. You will be hit by the Appetitus. Rest assured. I will hold you. The Imperium's hammer rises to strike. Restore my arms together. The Xenos infestation is stemmed.
Revenue! Revenue! It ain't letting me get the damn kill.
Lictor's down.
I am already. Another alien falls. Imperium's key.
Oh, that hurt. Damn you, sniper.
Wrath shall reign.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. That's why I stayed down here. Them snipers.
Push through the pain.
So now, I've got 12 shots left.
Avenging
I've
angel.
got 39, so I'm down to my sword.
Into the breach once more.
So you know what? That's some pretty good footage too. Huh?